Hi, I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web fishing report. I'm going to begin things off by reminding you that the July issue of the Fisherman magazine is due out now in newsstands as well as your mailbox last week and electronically at thefisherman.com. We've got some great features for this issue, including a fish-eye view of the underwater world of the fluke by the diving fisherman Mike Laptu. Now this print feature also comes along with a companion video just posted Monday morning at thefisherman.com, so you get some extra underwater footage of the fluke, so be sure to check that out. We've also got articles that address targeting swordfish on offshore party boats in the summer, targeting sharks on the fly by Angelo Peluso, using eels, both live and dead, to target big summer cows in the surf, and a little mini travel article going up to the Cape Cod Canal in search of big striped bass. So give it all a look. I'm sure you'll enjoy. Moving into the reports, in Connecticut, so really the big word of the week was scup. And finally, after they filled in Rhode Island last week, they really came through, took over the reports in Connecticut and Long Island Sound. All the shops from one end of the state to the other that we spoke to report some very good catches being made both by shore as well as by boat. So give that a shot. Got the first few blue crab reports of the season in Connecticut as well this week. It's a little bit spotty still, but they are starting to fill in, so hopefully it'll kick things going. I know last year was an excellent blue crab season. And speaking of summer pleasers, snapper bluefish started showing up across the state this past week. A few guys starting to get them on snapper poppers as well as the little tins. That was always my favorite, little Castmasters. Even this week I got a couple in the cast net on Wednesday night when I was out trying to net up some bunker for bait. I got some little 2 and 3 inch snapper blues in the net. Tossed them all back because they were a little small for the stripers that I was planning on targeting. But I did make note these looked like some excellent size for some big fluke bait, so give it a look. Let's see, we spoke to Captain Bruce this week from the Otter, and he reports a much more consistent bite, finally, on striped bass, with the big fish of the week going about 48 inches. But he had a lot, 40-45 inches taken on the bow, so give it a look. Over in Rhode Island, aside from a lull over the weekend due to the turbid waters caused by the big storm, scup fishing continues to really dominate the reports over there. Robin at Quaney Bait and Tackle said there's some great action being had down at Quaney Breachway during the day for scup, and Mike at Watch Hill Outfitters witnessed some very good action in person on Friday morning when he took a ride down to Watch Hill Lighthouse. While he was watching anglers pulling in scup, he noticed on the east side of the point there was a blitz going on with striped bass feeding on sand eels, so he had a little bit of everything going on that morning. Let's see, new advertiser Captain Denny Dillon of the Persuader 2 has been doing really well out around Block Island. Striped bass fishing has been very consistent over there, and he had a crew which kept their 4th of July charter despite the big weather that came through from the Singletary Rod and Gun Club up in Oxford, Mass. And they loaded up on bass, many fish into the mid 30-pound class. So it's a pretty good way to spend 4th of July while the rest of us were stuck back at home hiding from the rain and the winds. The Persuader was out there banging away at some bass. Moving up into Massachusetts, Red Top Sporting Goods report another week of improved catches in the canal. They had fished to 43 pounds weighed in, and big news on the canal, however, was Roy Leva and his 51-pound striped bass that he caught Thursday morning. Weighed the fish on his boga, got in a few pictures, and then proceeded to release this great fish. Big congratulations to Roy on the catch as well as the release, so give it a look at the Fisherman's Facebook page for a picture of this beautiful fish. Let's see. Fishing out around the vineyard has been somewhat spotty lately, but some better bass have been caught, including a mid 40 pounder by Doyle Bunch, according to Dick's Bait and Tackle. Larry's also reports some very good blue fishing being had off East Beach for boaters. Haven't really moved in tight to shore yet, so surf guys haven't taken advantage, but the boat guys are doing really well on big choppers. Blackbeard's Bait and Tackle up in Eastham reports that there's a pile of mackerel out by P-Town, which is holding a good body of bass in the area. Boaters are getting into them as well as plenty of shore fishermen. I know they're taking fish both by soaking bait on the bottom, using things like the fresh sand eels, or walking the beach and throwing small swimmers like the Daiwa SP minnow or 6-inch bombers. So they're very good options this time of the year up on the Cape. Reports of squid being jigged up all across the North Shore came in this week, and we got some hot spots. Fishing Fanatics recommends any of the Boston Harbor piers. Bob's Bait Shack said that they're in abundance around Nahant and Quincy, and they should be arriving in Winthrop piers anytime now. Tomo's Tackle recommends Gloucester, Salem, and Beverly Harbor, so plenty of options there to go jig up a bunch of squid. Lastly, Gulf of Maine ground fishing has been great lately, according to Cayman Charters, with an awesome haddock bite going on. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter at CaymanCharters.com for some money-saving coupons on their Fish and Stay packages that hook up with Lisa's Lookout. In these packages you get not only a day on the water but also food back at the at Lisa's Lookout, as well as lodging. So it's a great way to take advantage of this fishery. Even from a long distance, you get a place to stay, place to eat, perfect combo. So there you have it. That's this week's web update. For complete details on what's being caught, be sure to check out thefisherman.com for the web reports as well as all those printed reports this week. So I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines on the water.